Welcome back to the Ride of a Lifetime. Today is Sunday, and I kind of wanted to get on here really quick, and this video probably won't be coming out on Sunday. I'm probably not going to have enough time to edit it. Words. I'm not going to have enough time to edit it, but I just wanted to get a video out to you guys as soon as possible talking about my Rebel 1100 and how it got stolen. Hey, what's up? They're trying to sell some lemonade. Yeah, I wanted to kind of get on here and talk to you guys about exactly what happened with my Rebel 1100 and how it actually got stolen and how I ended up getting it back. I know I put a small little post in the Rebel 1100 World Facebook group just talking about, you know, how it got stolen, and then just did another one of like talking about how I got it back. But I wanted to give you guys a full rundown of like everything that actually happened and how I ended up getting it back. So I wanted to start this story at about 9:50 in the morning. I go out to uncover my bike. I have my helmet on and everything. I'm getting ready to go to work. But yeah, I was getting ready to go to work, so I was just like, okay, well, I'm going outside. I have my helmet on, getting ready to go, and go to look at my bike and, you know, take the cover off, and all I see is the cover there laying on the ground. And I was like, what the frick? Why? Like, where's my bike? Like, I almost was like, am I dreaming? Like, what's going on? So I was very quickly, I was like, oh my God, somebody freaking stole my bike. So I run back inside and I say, hey Mom, somebody stole my bike. And so I call the cops, and the cop shows up, and basically the cop shows up within like, I don't even know, like a minute. Like, he was there so fast. I was like, okay, cool. So anyway, I talked to the guy and I'm like, yeah, so somebody stole my motorcycle. It's a Honda Rebel 1100, and I had the license plate and everything. I basically go through all of that information with him and just talk to him really quick about it. And we try to see if there's any cameras or anything around. And right across the road from where I live, there's actually a church there, and I know the pastor and his wife and everything. So I ended up asking them and seeing if they had any footage or anything of that time. And his wife, actually, when I rang the doorbell, because they have like the Ring cameras or whatever, so I rang the doorbell, and his wife was like, yeah, what's up? And it's like, yeah, somebody stole my motorcycle. And she's like, oh my God, hey dear, hi little Bambi. But anyway, I was like, yeah, somebody stole my bike. So she went on her Ring camera and looked at the cameras, and the only one that she had access to was one looking at where my bike was, but like the motion detection didn't detect that somebody was moving something. But she took a screenshot at like 140, it was there, and then 143, it wasn't. So within that time frame, the person just took my bike cover off and started moving it. And right now while I'm talking, I'll put a video up of just him taking the bike. So he took my bike, and as you could see from the video, he started just pushing it down the alleyway, which that footage I ended up getting from the pastor. So her husband is where I got that footage from. And as he's pushing it down there, I'm like, okay, you know, I'm just trying to process all this stuff and just see what's going on. And then I noticed after watching it, I don't know, maybe the 50th time, I was like, man, that looks really weird. Like, why is he going into his pocket and look like he's pulling out the key? So everybody knows, like on a Rebel 1100 and most motorcycles, if you look, you know, right there, I don't know if you guys can see it really well, but that's where your handlebar lock is at. And so I see this dude pull out something from his left pocket and start to put it in there. And I'm like, what? No way, does he have my key? And then I started trying to go back and figure out big bump. I started trying to figure out when was the last time I saw that key. And what I thought was, okay, I think I took it to Nashville with me, because I was like, okay, if I lose my, you know, main key, I have a spare key in my tank bag that I always take with me everywhere I go. So if I go inside, for like 2 seconds, I take that with me. And so I'm like, okay, well, I'll just I'll look in that bag, because that would be like the only bag I know that I would probably have it in. So I look in that bag and I don't see it. And then I started going back and I'm like, man, when was the last time I saw that? Because stupid me, I left it in my center console in my car that sits right in front of it. And if you have a Rebel, you know that on your key it actually says Honda, but then not only that, it's got the Power Sports logo. So if you know a little bit about motorcycles, I think you could put two and two together and be like, oh yeah, that's a motorcycle key. So anyway, he snatched the key from my center console, and I think it was around the time that I had let my sister borrow my car. Like, she had it for a couple days, and I'm pretty sure she just didn't lock it. And I now know that I'm stupid enough to just put my key there, so I'm not doing that from now on. And learn from your mistakes and kind of move on with it. But anyway, and I'm not blaming my sister at all. Like, it's totally my fault, just in general, but I've had it in there for like 9 months, or ever since I got the bike. Like, because I went to the dealership to get my bike with my car, and I just put the spare key in there, and I just haven't drove my car in such a long time. The only time I really use my car is for when I do like shows and stuff like that. So when I go and play guitar somewhere or drums, I use that because I can't put all that gear on my bike as much as I would like to. But that's the only reason I use my car, and if it's raining really, really bad. So that's the only like couple times that I'll use my car. So watching that video, looking at it back, and I'm like, man, it looks like he has my spare key. So I start not necessarily freaking out, but I'm like, man, he's got my key. So I call the cops again, and I was like, man, I was like, it looks like he, is reaching in. If you look at that video, it looks like he's reaching in the pocket for like a key or something. And the cop that I got, he was super cool. I really appreciate him. He was really nice and everything. So get it, brother. Man, look at that. I need me one of those. So anyway, I call and I actually talked to the cop and said that to him, and he was just like, okay, I have that information, so that might help me with investigating it and finding it. And so I was supposed to go to work that day, and I did end up going into work. I was supposed to be there at 10, and I didn't end up going until about 12. So I drove around just in the general area and just try to find try to find my bike, see if it's just like poking out somewhere or something. And I searched for 2 hours, and I was like, man, I'm doing all that I could do. But I thought, okay, well, the cop is literally doing the exact same thing that I'm doing, so it's kind of pointless for me to be looking around. So I ended up going into work, and I got a couple tips because I posted it on Facebook as well, and just seeing if get as many eyes on it as possible. So yeah, but I got a couple tips through the day of like, hey, I saw your bike over here. Hey, I saw your bike over here. Well, I got one that I was like, oh, I just saw that bike not that long ago out at the park. So I drove out to the park, which is about 15 miles away, and I was driving around looking for it, and ended up finding a Africa Twin. I found an Africa Twin that was pretty much all black, and then it had some red accents. So like my seat has, like if you don't know what my seat looks like, I'll show you guys here in a little bit, but it's got like a little red lining on the back, and then I have the 1100 on the side that's painted as well, so I've also painted that. But I was like, okay, I could see how they could get those bikes confused. I get it. It's also a Honda as well, and it's literally got the same engine as what's in this thing, so it's just tuned a little different. So after all that was said and done, it was about 6 o'clock, and I got off work. So I had only worked 6 hours, and while I had some more daylight, I went out and looked for about 2 more hours. Didn't find anything, but my buddy Jesse lives pretty close to me, only like a mile from me, so I ended up just, man, a lot of people riding out today. So I got off at 6, and then I ended up going out and looking for about 2 more hours. But my buddy Jesse lives really, really close to me, and I still had my cover, so I was like, hey man, here's my cover. Take my cover, just, cover up your bike. I don't want somebody to steal yours as well, So he ended up taking that, and just dropped that off to him, and then I went back home, because after everything was said and done, I was just so beat of like trying to find my bike, talking to the police, talking to my insurance, and trying to get that all solved, that I was just like, man, I'm done for the day. I just want to go to bed and basically wake up and it'd be there. Well, I was pretty calm through the whole situation, but after having something like that happen, your brain just starts to go and go and go, and you're like, man, what if I did this, what if I did that, you know, maybe it's over here, maybe it's over there. So I mean, I went down every freaking alleyway in Parkersburg and tried to find it. Well, at about 8 o'clock p.m., so this is after I had got off work and everything, I got a call from the police officer that I reported my bike stolen to. So he called me and said, hey man, we found your bike. And I was like, really? And so I was like, okay. And so I talked to him for a little bit and just saw what was going on, and got some information from him. And so basically it was picked up by a cop 20 minutes after he stole it from me. So I reported it at night. What is going on here? It's not even Halloween. Well, that's awesome. What the heck? Yeah, it's like, it's, what is it? It's like, it's in the middle of August. Okay. So anyway, sorry you got sidetracked. I forgot where it was at. Oh yeah, so basically it was about 20 minutes after he stole it from me that a cop had pulled him over for erratic driving. And I was like, oh, okay, so he was driving. So he did have my key, unless he like hot rodded it or, you know, just hot wired it. And I was like, okay, well, he's like, yeah, it's at this impound lot. And I was like, okay. So he's like, you can't go pick it up right now, but you can go pick it up tomorrow because they're closed. And I was like, sweet. So the next day, which would have been Thursday, I was off, but I took my uncle with me because he rides bikes and everything like that. So I wanted to take him with me because I was like, okay, if you see damage and I don't see damage, you know, I want, you know, another set of eyes with me to go. So ended up going there, and this is actually a clip from us popping up to the impound lot and going to pick up my bike. So I will play that for you guys right now, and it's just short and sweet. Sorry that the camera angle isn't super great, but I didn't want to like point the camera in front of their face, but I thought, okay, I'm gonna bring my camera just in case, you know, there's some damage or whatever, you know, just document it. So here's that clip really quick.
I don't think you can see it, but it's in there.
Blip, blip, blip.
Blip, blip, blip. Hello. How are you guys today?
Pretty good.
Good,
I
good.
bet I know why you're here.
Yeah.
Because I got your mugshot.
Oh, nice. I look ugly, so.
They didn't get the good side.
Nope.
Never let you retake it.
Well, that was the front side.
I was picking my nose. You're like, it's good.
All right,
Do I need to sign anything?
Yeah, this
Go
right
for
here
your
is
photo
right.
ID.
Was you missing a side bag on the side?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I took that off because I burnt it on the exhaust. So I just was like, I don't need it on that side. I'll just have
Okay.
one, so.
Okay. Other than that, it didn't look like it was laid down or anything. Huh. And the keys are still in it.
Yeah, dude, I said he stole the key. Yep, he did.
Yeah, he boosted it from the car and then he tried to do it, but I don't think he knew how to ride it.
Yeah, but they pulled him over for a ride.
Oh, yeah, that's why.
Yep.
Erratic driving. Yeah.
But the officer that got him and put the hold on it didn't know that it was stolen.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
I've got my jack in it. Yep, that looks fine.
You have the lid with you?
Yeah, I do. I got it in the trunk. Yep. Yep.
And there's a tow bill on it.
So as you can see from the video of us going to go pick it up, the lady was talking to me about everything, and she said, yep, the key was in the side, and I was like, man, I knew that he stole my key. So he basically busted into my car. Well, I mean, I guess it's kind of my fault for leaving it unlocked, but or my sister, whoever's fault it was. But anyway, so he had gotten into my car and ended up pulling the key out of there and walking it, 150 feet down that alleyway, putting the key in, which, him being an idiot, put it in the handlebar lock and not the ignition itself. So he figured that out eventually and rode it down the road, and got pulled over 20 minutes later for erratic driving. But what that video doesn't show you is and I didn't know this either, but if unfortunately you have your bike stolen or anything stolen just in general, I had to actually pay $200 to get my motorcycle out. And by me, I mean I didn't have that on me at the second, because I had paid all my bills and did everything that I needed to do. So shout out to my uncle for helping me pay that. But $200 to get my own motorcycle out of the impound lot is completely stupid. And I did talk to my insurance, and my insurance says, well, yeah, there's a $100 deductible for you, and you know, we would cover that. So I was like, so hold up, I pay you $100 and you reimburse me $200, but that math just equals out to I pay you $100 and you give me $100 back. So that was completely stupid, and I was like, all right, well, whatever. But what I think I'm gonna do is, since he is getting charged with stealing my motorcycle, I'm just gonna see if I can tack that onto his charges and get that going. As far as the legal stuff and everything, I have very little information on it. I know that he's in jail right now, and he's gonna face the charges for stealing my motorcycle. But it ended up being a happy ending to my bike getting stolen, and yeah, that's pretty much the whole story. I just want to thank everybody in the Rebel 1100 world, but just having your thoughts and prayers on it. I really appreciate you guys, and I had a lot of my friends and family praying, and you know, praying for my bike to be safely returned to me, and that's what it was. I mean, it was you know, safely returned. The only thing that I can see as far as damage wise that actually ended up happening to my bike, I'll actually pull over and show you guys really quick. Yeah, we'll pull in here really quick. But yeah, just showing you guys this really quick. But I know this video is probably really long, but I wanted to kind of describe everything that was happening. So the only thing that I can see damage wise that happened to my bike is that little spot right there on my Corbin seat, just from the fabric separating. I don't think that was from when I went to Nashville, because that wasn't there before I went to Nashville. But I don't know if he sat on it too hard. I mean, you can kind of see it's stretch. I mean, gosh dang, look, it's already starting to separate there. So I don't know if that was from him or whatever, but we'll have to get that reupholstered and everything. But the bike is back and everything's good. But yeah, a happy ending to my bike getting stolen and it coming back to me. So I am taking proper precautions now to make sure that that doesn't happen again. And I'm not going to tell you guys exactly what I'm going to do to make sure that it's secure and that that'll never happen again. But yep, I'm taking proper precautions, and that is never going to happen again to this bike. I also am looking into maybe getting a storage unit for me and Jesse's bike. Just, you know, that might be a cool place to put it for the winter. And if I have a couple installs or something I want to do over the winter, basically trying to figure out what the best content is for the winter. I know that you guys know that I'm a musician as well, so I might do some covers or something like that. I don't want to screw up the algorithm, but maybe doing something like that along with the motorcycles. I haven't really figured that out yet, but yep. I think that's everything as far as the whole story. So now you guys have all the details and everything. And but if you guys like this video, please let me know by liking it down below and commenting. I'd greatly appreciate it. And I'm gonna get back on the road, and oh look, somebody's riding a Goldwing. But I think I'm gonna get back on the road and ride around for just a little bit, you know, make sure she's all good, and you know, make sure she knows that that'll never happen again. So but anyway, thank you guys for sticking around to the end of the video and watching it all the way through. I think I might go get her cleaned up and everything like that. But yeah, I will catch you all in the next ride. Peace.